Steal my resolve. Wait for this message to remove itself from the stream. Alright. And whoosh. Welcome to the stream. We are playing some more Disco Elysium today. Just gonna jump right on into it. Check out the fridge in the commercial building across from the whirling. Gotta figure that out. Oh.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Not yet. But I was able to convince the database people to share private sector information. They promised to get back to me by tomorrow morning. Do you have any other questions? 57, over.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Okay. It's so annoying that I've failed this.
Tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Really need to figure out. Here, I wanted to do this.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Oh, I really need to get her to let me...
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
I'm trying to find a way to the fridge downstairs. It's urgent police matter.
You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go to them.
Man, I really need to get to that fridge downstairs.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and...
What if there's like a time? that I need to arrive.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a rich
Buck
man.
40. Don't mind me. Oh, I look like a slob. Okay.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
My Fristle.
Because Friesel was incompetent,
Friesel.
foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flip through the pages, see what
To
catches
your
your eye.
disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Play it cool, pretend everything's in
We
order.
flip back to the front of the magazine.
Put the magazine away for now. I have a bunch of those things. My health is low. Really just trying to look for any little old thing that might be out of order.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The woman still.
I guess I'll talk to Gartz about the next door.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real. Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. Another thing. Great.
So the phone line is dead?
And the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
It's pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
Is it true that there is foul play?
Who told you that?
I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonorable.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill. Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Leo said you're friends with Manana. Is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends.
What is in that borscht you're making there? Point to the large
The man
pot.
says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Mercury rising. Run your fingers through your hair.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Tough decisions. These small things really get to me. This is tough. The necktie says turn it up. Logic says turn it down. If we turn it down, it's probably good for my conscience, as well as my character's alcoholism. Maybe get the people calmer, able to open up, but at the same time, if we turn it up, maybe they'll open up too, or they'll act out. We had some hype in chat for this this decision here, the borscht decision. Ooh, I need to make a hype emote. Right. Do I trust the necktie or logic? Oh, I wish I had some chat here to help me out making decisions. Oh well. Um, no wad cut. Cut it. Either direction, honestly, could go bad or could go well. Jeez, I'm so stumped. Let me look through the menu here while I think about this decision. I haven't used a map much. Yeah. What a tough decision. Time passes when picking new dialogue options. Read books to pass time quicker. Gain experience by completing tasks or by exploring. Leveling up grants you skill points. Use skill points to unlock skills or unlock or forget thoughts. White skill checks can be re-rolled. Skill checks. Explore options or level up to try again. Red skills are permanent. Let's try turning it down for one day. And then turn it up the next day.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say to you.
All right.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it? You're testing. Get lost! Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a. Kuno's Kuno? Shoot that shit at Kuno, pig. The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
The man is decomposed. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Try to remove the dead man's boots.
I thought we decided to leave it to process.
Damn it. This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone to sleep.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get that that freezer access. Hmm.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons. List silence. No one. Whoa. What have we here?
A bridge?
A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Kim, it looks like we have a construction code violation.
True. They never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though.
But Lieutenant, think about the
The bridge is
splinters.
fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we? Yes?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
The way I've talked to Everett Claire.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Help him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making?
The cook makes it to help keep the strikers drunk, helps them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
No, you misunderstand. I turn the knob like this, turn the heat down.
Beyond curious. I will choose to interpret that as you turning the alcohol in the strike brew down. For the sake of our professional relationship. And because I don't like the idea of them any more drunk than they already are. What else? Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I can help?
Just a wee bit. Running back and forth all the way across town. I mean, I think I can definitely see why people would like not finish this game. You know, it's tough.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
The weasel I visited. Turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Yes, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values.
Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
Hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to... No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying.
Mr. Dubois, every worker...
A member of the
That's
board?
right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
What's in the container outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Kavaltson crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
I I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist
Just
mugs.
as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
I've heard about a connection between lynching and the strike.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Hold on, you have a village elephant?
No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Wait, they move the container?
Yes. I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Wait, the whole neighborhood is in on it?
Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base.
Who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
How do you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. and I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
The name of the company is Kernel this time. It might have been Sediment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Mentioned a lawyer girl.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Tell me about this Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
I've already met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course. It's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Wait, why are you
I'm
giving
not
it to
giving
me?
you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
Taking bribes from everybody.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
The mug collection I mentioned was in the apartment. I found a similar mug in the trash while with the hangman's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
This weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
There's more to police work than whacking an imaginary baton.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
So that's supposed to mean I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
What are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
Where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of cavalry boots under the fish in the box, and the wind howls like a vicious spirit.
What will happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
He means it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
Depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Fine, if I happen to be there, I'll ask them.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist.
Can we go over a few details concerning the murder again?
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By now, Harry, this...
You mean our...
A security. I'm talking... Everything they did there, they... No, you haven't. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out. About my fun, but enough about... One of them got...
By negotiator, you mean?
Harry, we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. There's a
That's sad.
They're like...
Again.
So these...
He probably...
Aren't you worried when...
Oh, I'm not at all...
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's...
By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. Don't even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew, stronger, stopped it, strike. I'm just gonna let you surprise me, Harry. See you soon,
Didn't mean to say that option, but I did it anyways. And now I'm going to use this money to go buy a board game. Composite eye of halogen light swatches you, emitting a low buzz. There we go. Getting some bottles. Cleaning up the streets. Okay.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
However, it says Titus Hardy and his boys killed him.
That's so. I haven't heard anything about that. But if that's true, well, he was an enemy combatant.
What does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition. But I ain't the murdering type.
Understood.
No problem. Hola, wandering man. Los Ardis? They're sort of like...
Is he actually... Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace. The man whispers a jaunty tune.
Okay.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
Large letters on the front form a title, Wirral. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas. The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller, some with pointy ears, others with ephemeral wings.
Examine the box.
Text underneath the title in smaller typeface reads, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel adds a sword and sorcery adventure board game with new maps and miniatures.
Shake the box.
Mysterious things rattle inside. What could they be? Dice? Plastic miniatures? A fantastical alternate world full of magic and wonder? None of that witless man from Heimdall, fascist dross, hidden behind faux realistic allegory. Wirral is no cliché-ridden apologia for colonial violence. Wirral is pure imagination. Yes, the Wirral setting is known for its complicated system of political alignments. But if you're not into that, you can just hack your way through dungeons in search of loot. That's what most people do.
Look at the back.
A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life? Escape to Wirral. Leave behind e-solas and nations with their petty squabbles. Discard electricity, magnets, and boring technological widgets. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wirral. Can your band of adventurers save the world?
Yes, we're ready to take the challenge.
Exactly. That's the spirit. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, unfold the illustrated game board, and start rolling dice. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest. You pry open the box. Inside, you find a folded-up map, a small booklet, a 24-sided die, and a little plastic figurine.
Look at the die.
It's made from some sort of wood and has been decorated with peculiar plant motifs. You don't know much about dice, but this one looks pretty damn fancy.
Take the die.
You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side.
Look at the map.
A reprint of a crude hand-drawn map. The top left corner reads, Lands of Wirral. The map features both small villages and mid-sized towns with odd names, in addition to meadows, forests, hills, lakes and seas, also with odd names. It doesn't seem to correspond with anything you've seen thus far. It's not a very helpful map.
Look at the figurine.
You see a man in ragged clothes, wearing a lopsided hat and wielding some sort of a firearm.
Huh. Interesting. A communard.
A what?
A communard. One of the leftist revolutionaries in the anti-centennial revolution.
What's so interesting about that?
The figurine is not a part of the real game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process.
Does this mean we can't
I
play?
have a feeling the figurines are more there to set the scene than anything else.
You see a
Huh, interesting.
Doesn't sound very
It is
world-like.
not. The communards are not a part of the game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process.
Maybe someone should make a role-playing game set during the revolution.
Good luck finding people who'd want to play as communards.
Take the
You
figurine.
pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it.
Look at the
A
booklet.
quick guide to the magical races of Wirral. Create your own hero, choosing from any of these completely unique and fantastical backgrounds. The options are in order of importance. The Welkin, the Tweog, the humans, the fairy folk, and the pygmies.
What about the Welkin?
The Welkin, tall, lithe, and graceful, with long flowing hair and pointy ears. They're known for being powerful magic users, but can also hold their own in a brawn-driven fight. The Welkin come with a variety of exciting sub-races. High Welkin, Forest Welkin, Lake Welkin, and Snow Welkin. But if you're not feeling experimental, a basic Welkin will always do. A grand race of industrious mountain people. They're short, stout, and muscular, and enjoy digging for gold and other precious minerals. They're also well versed in the art of combat, where they prefer to use axes and hammers. The Tweog also come in a few different sub-races. Hill Tweog, Shield Tweog, and Dark Tweog.
Read about the humans.
They're just humans. What else is there to tell? They're average in all stats, and jacks of all trades.
Read about the fairy folk.
A very small race of flying people, known for being mischievous, full of trickery. They often lure people into their magical traps. There are no sub-races for the fairies.
Read about pygmies.
The least popular of the Wirral races, the pygmies, are short, rotund, and dim-witted. Pygmies live in small villages made of shoddy wooden dwellings. They spend most of their days tilling the earth and smoking their pipes. There are no sub-races for the pygmies. A colourful box with the title Wirral in bold letters.
Alright. We did Wirral. Check that off the list.
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark.
It was
It's the
romance.
type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
About a poor man getting a rich lady.
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
I
Those
see.
are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about it when everyone is poor?
It's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
I think she was about an excruciatingly painful breakup.
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
You know, to think about it, one where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out, scarred for life, phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom.
Yes, she knows books. Definitely.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain?
Enough romance.
Maybe some about other books?
Famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old. Or artists and
We're doing it! We're talking!
those kinds of
It's a talking game. We're doing the talking. Sit up, talk time.
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me. Me one day.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'm a superstar cop. In the papers and everything. That'll show them.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
You stop calling me sir. I'm but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I hate you. I, for example, can't stop making this face. Point at your face.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
Composure. Challenging. Okay, I'm gonna do something now.
You fail to deduce.
Come on!
She waits intently.
I'm a detective. I deduce that you are very small.
Come on, don't be silly. That's not a proper deduction.
Why the heck did I fail that? Talk to old Roy here.
Hello again. How can I help you?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say Fallon.
What is this? Show it to the shopkeep.
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
Purchase the Headless Phone Rider.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Okay. Equip this to discover secret orbs in shady areas? Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're doing it now. Sewer grate, the gateway to the river of filth. Kim, you may be going to bed soon, but it is a night where I must shine. Shine like the bright light that I am.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles.
These are all boring. Boring, third-rate, ho-hum sunglasses. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant.
I see a pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says sub-insulindic rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep.
Wow, officer. You look so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Ooh. Leave for now. I'll be back with $3 sometime. Some other time.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you.
What's in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol.
Who are you?
Rise into the sky.
Ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinaise every day.
What is on the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction, a defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Whole city, end of all lines.
Run your fingers through your dampening hair.
Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
What's in the east?
The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Shake your shoulders again.
Looking down at your feet. Dirty rainwater runs veins into the plaza's snow. 2 green snakeskin shoes stand at attention on the mosaic paving of the plaza.
What's in the north?
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The evening news.
And closer to here?
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Filthy water pools around a body. Droplets of rain slip from the dead man's cold cheeks.
What's in the south?
Traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
It's on the other side.
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Kitty! Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood at?
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Why am I not
To
there?
be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed.
What am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Sure, look further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
What's below?
Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution, doors leading down to Le Royaume. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Oh, excuse me. Trying to remember if there's any dark areas I could creep around in.
This bookstore is not strict. Shelves full of biographies of. Shelves filled to the brim with.
Looks like The circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Me and Everett talked. He promised he'd cooperate.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Very mature guys. Everett sent word, right?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys. Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his jokes even before they leave his lips. This guy is a born leader, but having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
I want to talk about the hanging again.
Just get...
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Starting, sitting on his right across at the other, and then the emblem on his vest in the far corner. Standard working size in the middle. In conclusion, these set exactly.
The fuck is with you, fella?
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
First you tell me someone was raped, and you say who? That's bullshit.
Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, all right? We took care of it. The law handled it, all right?
Yeah. Aren't you listening? It's done. Finito.
Guess we're both the law around here if you start to think about it.
No, asshole. You're nobody. I'm the...
Stop yelling about the goddamn law in my establishment! We get it. You're all the law.
Let's just all cool off. We had some questions, that's all.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Well, I'm stumped. I definitely did not build myself or perform adequately to do all the things that I needed to do. I have so many skill points. I'm going to try this thing again. Okay. Visual calculus. Alright. We're going to do it. We're going to go and look. This is a visual calculus. Do any of these decrease visual calculus? Okay. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. This thing has been pissing me off.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago.
There.
It's a message written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A. The driver started there and then accelerated straight into the fence. left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again? The hole in this fence doesn't look that huge.
Was not that impressive.
He was exaggerating. People blame cops for everything that goes wrong in the world. This has nothing to do with you. As a matter of fact, you don't even know why you stopped here. You would never drive recklessly like this, and you don't have a car. The
Okay, what
driver
next?
proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
Guard drove through the fence.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
Is this connected to the case?
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez. With the jam right here on the roundabout, I would keep them separate.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went, if you find the time.
This is the point of departure of the vehicle that crashed into the Samaritan butter sign.
That's plausible. A similar reckless abandon seems to be in evidence.
I think I got it. Okay. Solved that case. Solved that one right up. Okay. I'm gonna try. I didn't really want to do too much save scumming, but what is this one?
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you.
Pain
covered in
threshold.
dozens, if not hundreds, of...
Do I have any pain threshold things? Physical instrument? I don't think I did, huh? I mean... Okay. Again. We're gonna try it. Probably not a good idea. Now, can I use those skill points to do stuff here? I can. Let's try pain threshold. Let's level that little sucker up. Heal.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the doorframe. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Smash into the door and shout, "Fuck, it hurts." Poster says, "City is fortress, the rest is worn off." Worn out wall bears that look unsafe. Oh, cripes. We did it.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
It feels familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one...
The hallway is blocked by an old window panes and debris. Looks like the remains of the 24th window repair shop. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. Naked mannequin torso. Strange yellow color. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles.
Hold on.
Very pedantic.
How do I know what Kadran mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too.
Radio
Sparse and
frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So do you know something medical?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
Wait, who's the Game Master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney.
Knock on
What
it.
an odd thing to do. Nothing happens.
Knock on it harder.
Still nothing. No one's home.
Knock on even harder.
Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy.
Oh no.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
I can try.
Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Bent metal. Broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
No, I'm just a disempowered individual trying to take out my disempowerment out on everyday objects.
Look, there's a discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy that too?
Oh, I actually feel sorry for the things I've destroyed.
You're right. That's definitely not the behavior of a destroyer at all. That's just...
Some good money in that.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120.
Step away. We're definitely currently looking for a fridge. Oh.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Look inside the refrigerator.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
This is clearly the fridge. It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
Okay, let's do this.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the bedroom. Then more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in an ice bear fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Behold, we've created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Talk of the ice bear sarcophagus must not leave this room.
He means it. He doesn't want to be the ice bear cop.
We did our best with the means at our disposal.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Perception. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
Alright. Perception.
Possible, also, see me in your dreams.
An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck busted guns beneath the ceiling.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Looks like there's a hole in the wall. Shine light on the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Inspect
Most
the rifles.
of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
This one looks nice. Take the rifle.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Where are we? Look around the secret room.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Does this mean a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
I got the old flashlight out because I knew we were going to do some serious snooping today. Frozen ice cream maker still running. Oh, yeah.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Cellar window, people's feet shuffling by on the street. I have a feeling that we want to take the ice cream maker offline.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Look inside the
It's
furnace.
dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Leave.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. This looks like an enormous improvement on the classic We're Out setting. Much more advanced, light years ahead. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin, this is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin. His face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Whisper, one of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Why did anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Let's
just
move
look
on.
at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Oh.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Okay. No going in that one yet. Large demijohn full of strange liquid.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, why did they start? Which did they start with, and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
What a strange leap of imagination, and that they still failed. How sad.
Reality is ruthless.
I'm gonna save the game. And go up these stairs. So I can go in now? Yes. I'm going to...
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice. Something close to you dies.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
I'll plug it back in. I'll plug it back in. I just need to, we're gonna do something here.
The dusty radio computer sleeps on its...
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Insert the production
like a
schedule.
Smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press
A
play.
bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What is the production
The
schedule?
filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Still no. Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of...
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why do you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely doing this job?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Press print.
Nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no...
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Looks like a undercover counterintelligence program?
No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
Lay it out, Kim.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do
Two
that?
call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
So what do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
The world is cold and lonely. This would keep you company. Let's finish it.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
This old fireplace, a diagram, the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic. Your flashlight slides over and some of the writing has faded with it.
Oh, the note.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Suliswaf.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Where do I begin? What's filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
I wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Do you have any idea what the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box?
Okay. So we will probably have to come back here tomorrow.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Turn the ice cream
Turning
crank.
the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
Minus 20. A pry bar not strong enough. That's definitely the ice cream maker. Okay. A lot done today. I can't even... I'm trying to even think of anything else that I can do.
You see a heavy steel door with the door does not. The cobalt blue, old cobalt. It leads to a side.
Can't talk to anybody. You still hate me, guard?
Can I help you?
All right.
Yes?
Hmm.
Yes?
The door is closed.
All right. We've lost Kim for the moment. I mean, I don't know if there's anything necessarily that I'm trying to do without Kim. These guys are gone. Ooh, I know. Let's change our clothes. Um, all right. About to wind down here. Fortunately, I don't have Kim
Gendarmerie.
for me.
You found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight, and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Honestly, I'm just trying not to screw anything up.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Is it Friday tonight? It feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Why do I want to meet your friend?
Trust me, you do.
Oh, I can't quick save.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
And where?
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Only if you promise we'll talk again. It's important.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Gonna save the game. That saving's good. We're gonna go in. Empty ashtray. Quarterly business magazine. Dishes soaked up in a pot. Flyers for underground parties. Exquisite canopy made of out of metal. Buckets of paint. Old photo of the same apartment, dated year 1.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Point at the bed.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members.
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in. One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate? Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one, but now that I start thinking of it, it was for an improv class anyway. It's this funny theater thing, you know? Very creative. Helps relieve stress.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motor bus. It's neither funny nor creative.
Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one—
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the Moral Intern is joking or not.
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability. Take your daily bread, for example. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%. The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles.
Yeah, give it to me.
Would you like an informational pamphlet? A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency. It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the Coalition.
Are you a moralist?
But of course.
But why?
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
What is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Seems like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Yes, everything else seems super extreme. It's like I'm with a bunch of lunatics.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Tell me about Sur Leclerc.
What's there to say? Sur la Clé is a modern,
Leclerc.
urbanized country that measures very
Sur
high
Leclerc.
on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great
EPIS.
sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darling? That can't be an official designation.
What makes Revachol Sur Leclerc's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur la Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Tell me about Orangé.
Oranje is an exemplary nation.
Oranje.
As a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur la Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Which one of them is more EPIS?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur la Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur la Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is the Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Can't you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
About Oranje. Tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Enough business. Let's talk about something
Whatever
else.
you wish.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind. Is it because you did it, Mr. Villadrum?
Because I did it?
My apologies, I misspoke. What did you see?
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
Meaning it was terrifying?
No, no. I mean, it was so strange. I could barely believe what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Sound familiar? That matches the prints you observed at the scene.
Were any of them huge, like 200 kilograms huge?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
Did any of them look like drummers?
Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
So you didn't actually see the lynching happen?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were there men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Why didn't you call the RCM?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
Can you just tell me when it happened?
All I can say is that it was late.
You didn't check your watch?
My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are my questions. Thanks for your time.
Anything I can do to assist the RCM. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Well, then why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Not going anywhere. I just want to take a look around the apartment.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions. Was there anything else? I'm sorry to say I did. Officer, it's very difficult.
He holds out his hand.
No, no. I was on the balcony. That's when I understood. I should not be. I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I went back inside. Officer, the yard... Well, that's the... Eventually, their shouts... I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add. All I can say is that my watch... No, I didn't see the corpse. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance. Of course. I'm glad... Was there anything else? Of course. I'm glad...
I mean... Items. Tools. Flashlight. Well, I'm sure Kim's going to be sad he missed out on that. I'm going to create a new save. And end